Well, folks, it is the Stanley Cup Final, and thus far, it has been amazing. So I figured it was time to get the old band back together. One is a self-proclaimed Canadian hockey snob with a wealth of knowledge, hockey knowledge as a player and a coach, while the other hails from Hockey Town and is an official credential-carrying member of the media. But he'll tell you he's different, like 2 Chainz in the way that he moves. Let's welcome back the host of Hockey Nights in Vegas, co-host Sarina Taylor, and my guy, Eddie Rivkin. How you guys doing?
Good, thank
Fantastic.
you.
You're chuckling.
2 Chainz.
Yeah, you're different like 2 Chainz.
I need my own show on.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah.
Every time he comes here, he's asking for more and more.
No, I watch that show religiously.
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do. All right, so guys, after a snoozer of a Game 3, let's talk about the Stanley Cup Final with the Golden Knights and Hurricanes. Now, there are almost really too many storylines to really talk about. So I want to ask you, Sarina, ladies first, what do you think is the biggest takeaway of the Golden Knights and the Hurricanes right now as it stands 2-1 VGK? The biggest storyline of the entire Stanley Cup Final right now that we should start with?
I'm not sure if there's a specific storyline. You could talk about how good Mitch Marner's been, all these kind of things. But from my eyes, looking at Carolina, they're the best defensive team in the NHL. Mm-hmm. And what happened in the second period where Vegas scored 4 goals and Mitch got 3 in 6 minutes and 10 seconds, which is an NHL record. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you can beat Maurice Richard, I mean, you're talking, this is game stuff here. But
even if it's a second.
Yeah, defensively, Carolina just fell apart. And that's not their style. That's not their MO. And for me, that's been the biggest thing because anytime Vegas has capitalized, it's because Carolina's defense fell apart. Now, they're such a good defensive team. They don't really have that star power forward like Vegas does.
They do not, yeah.
But they can get the job done. And you can see, we've seen 2 games in a row now, how they can quickly turn it around. So I think the biggest story is the hot and cold. You know, we talked about it on the podcast that not both teams cannot be at their best at the same time.
This hasn't happened yet.
Proof of it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So what do you think the biggest takeaway thus far out of all, because she was completely correct. There's so many things we could talk about. What do you think the biggest thing is right now?
I think, how they handle adversity.
The Golden Knights?
Both sides. When we talked about it, Carolina hasn't had really any adversity getting to the Stanley Cup Final. They beat a real young Ottawa team. They beat a real young Philadelphia team. They beat a Montreal team that had played 2 7-game series prior to getting there that was just out of gas. That last series against Colorado was one of those iron sharpens steel kind of things, and it got them geared in to what it was going to be. Carolina plays fast. There's no doubt about it. Carolina is great on D as well, but they hadn't been tested yet. Their goalie came in with a 1.5 goals against average and a .944 save percentage, and he watched the third period eating bonbons on the bench because he stunk.
Yes, and I mean, he got hit in the head.
Well, we all got hit in the head. That's part of, but they got exposed a little bit. And we're seeing that the superior talent of the Golden Knights forwards is able to beat the man-on-man defense. When Carolina gets just scampering around chasing the Golden Knights, it's done city. Okay,
it's done city. So obviously, we talked about it a while ago before they started playing the Ducks and everything else. I mean, we thought the Golden Knights, for the most part, were going to get through that series. Going into Colorado, no one really predicted them to do what they have done. But we're all kind of in agreement in the fact that the Golden Knights would likely beat Carolina, maybe 60-40 going into the Stanley Cup Final. So right now, Mitch Marner, we'll start with him really quickly. How about what Mitch has done? I mean, he's got 28 points right now. The next closest person is 20. The next closest person that's not on his team is 17. Taylor Hall, which is banana. Like, how surprised, or maybe not surprised at all, at how well Mitch Marner is playing?
I'm personally not surprised at all. Gotcha. Mitch is one of the most talented players in the National Hockey League, and I'm so glad that the fans here and now the fans around the continent essentially are seeing what Mitch can really bring. Jeez. You know, we've watched Mitch for 8-9 years in Toronto, and he was good, but there was just still a little bit of a disconnect. And even Leafs fans and the Leafs brass, I think, would agree that there was always a problem with their core four, as they called it. There was just something going on there. But Mitch coming and getting out of that environment where the pressure was off, essentially, completely.
Yeah.
And it just allowed him to play his game more. And then I think there was a huge difference when William Karlsson came back.
Massive.
And we owe that to you, because you've called that on our first appearance here.
You are correct. I appreciate you telling me that, because I agree. Yeah,
But it was, in my opinion, it was John Tortorella being able to look and say, okay, who can I put Mitch with? And noticing that he plays well with Howden and with Wild Bill. That's been the key.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of players in the history of the National Hockey League, like Yari Curry, who had a lot of points because he played with the great one. So there's different things like that make a player better. Brett Howden has been out of his mind.
He's been out of his mind. He had more goals in the playoffs than you did in the regular season.
Well, you know, and it helps because
he's playing with Mitch and Wild
No,
Bill.
that's crazy. Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's about matching up your lineups too, right?
Yeah.
So I think that John Tortorella's done an incredible job in encouraging Mitch to play his game, and Mitch's head is always on a swivel. He's always looking around. Mitch thinks like Wayne does. He thinks 2-3 steps ahead of what his next move can be, and Mitch just sees the ice better than anybody else.
Which is wild too, because it almost seems like Mitch Marner is rubbing off on his teammates with these passes, like the pass that Sissons, the little behind the back pass that Sissons threw. You know what I mean?
It's a
like,
hurdle.
Yeah, like that's a pass that Mitch Marner would make. The pass that McNabb threw to Marner, last night, I was like, that was another nice pass. So I completely agree, though. I mean, Mitch has been magnificent, magic, whatever.
He's been at all of it.
All of that. All right, so what do you think about, we'll move on to Brayden McNabb, because, I mean, Mitch, we could talk about him all day long. How about McNabb? We were talking off camera, the fact that he got hit in the face with 85 miles per hour, and the fact that he came back, and not only just came back, I think he played like the second most minutes on the team.
35 plus.
And he had two
assists.
Yeah. I mean, what can you say about what McNabb did? That's crazy.
Well, the word they used was warrior. And the last time this team used the word warrior was with Alec Martinez in 23.
Oh,
and he played
skate?
the Stanley. He took the skate, but he played the Stanley Cup Final with a broken foot. He didn't practice at all during the final. They literally put the boot on him, and after the game, they cut the laces to take his. He wasn't seen at all. He was in a walking boot the whole final.
Wow.
They strapped him in. He played. They cut it out of him. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
Wow.
There's just something different. And Sarina can speak to that much more better than I can, because Brayden McNabb is from her neck of the woods.
Saskatchewan, right?
Yeah.
Home of the Rough Riders.
The Rough Riders? Yeah, there we go.
One of the Rough Riders, right?
Yeah.
She taught me the phrase prairie strong.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it's better that she explain it than me mumble through it. But I mean, what can you say? The man's in his late 30s. He's the most quiet, humble guy.
He's such a good dude.
Hates talking to us. He just
But he does it well, though.
He absolutely does it well.
And he doesn't have the contempt when he talks to us. You can't tell that he doesn't like talking to us.
But he would just as soon go to the rink, put on his gear, do his job, go home. But when he's on the ice, whether he's wearing a bird cage or just a visor, he's a terror. He hits everything that walks. He's their best defender by a lot. And you see, with him out of the lineup, everything is a lot different.
Yeah, Taylor Hall's not his friend right now.
No.
After that little check they had last night.
Eddie and I were talking about this earlier today, and he said, we were talking about Brayden McNabb through text, because how could you not talk about how great this is? But I said to Eddie that this is a testament to Kelly McCrimmon, because Kelly has watched a lot of these guys through junior. Kelly's from Saskatchewan as well. He knows the quality and the character of these guys. And when he brought all these guys in 9 years ago, when he was doing the expansion draft, it was Brayden McNabb or Nick Dowd. And he chose Brayden McNabb, but he's always had his eye on Nick Dowd, and fast forward it came, right? But Kelly knows character guys, and I guarantee that's one of the reasons he chose McNabb over Dowd in the first place. He needed a good, tall, strong defenseman. which is what Brayden McNabb is, but he also hires guys because of their character. And I think people here need to understand that that's the stuff that we're just born with there. And it's true. When you play out on the frozen dugout and you're freezing and you take a puck in the side of the ankle and it hurts more than anything's ever hurt in your life, you just keep going. Like Eddie said about McNabb, I was like, it's expected that he would come back.
Okay.
It's expected, in my opinion, from a Brayden McNabb.
I got it. All
this
right.
is just how he's going to roll.
All right.
And so that's what this team is built on. It's built on character guys who are willing to go to bat, guys who are willing to go, okay, we just got a new head coach with 8 games left in the season. We have to adapt. And they have.
In a massive way, yeah, they have.
And think about it. He wasn't good enough to be protected by the LA Kings.
I know.
Oops.
Well, I mean, with that kind of thinking, I mean, the whole team, all those misfits, you know what I mean? Like guys that weren't protected. I mean, Carlson wasn't protected by the Blue Jackets or whatever, and then was it 42? I don't know.
43 in the first year.
43 goal, in the first year. So
we can't protect everybody, which is what makes it a
not.
weird situation.
Yeah.
And Kelly finagled it the way he wanted to.
Let me ask you this. Please don't. You're not of the mind that the Vegas Golden Knights got an advantage with that draft, are you? You know how people were like,
no.
Okay, good.
They didn't get an advantage. They took what they were given.
No, I know. You've seen the writings just like I've seen it.
Listen,
People,
if you
revisionist theory, you know what I mean?
If
Like
you
people,
listen to what stupid people write,
this is true. Yeah. You argue with a fool. People from a distance can't tell.
You're losing the argument because they're good at it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if that's going to be the argument, Colorado on paper had a much better team. They got swept. So the team is what's on the ice. When Kelly's done, his job is done, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's always looking for next year, the year after, but he can't control what's going on the ice.
No. Okay, so we've talked about Saskatchewan for a little bit and all the famous. Really quick, who's the most famous person that comes from Saskatchewan?
I was going to say Gordie Howe.
Okay, he's got
probably Gordie Howe. Besides me.
Besides Sarina.
Okay, all right.
It depends. If you ask a Canadian, they'll have a different answer.
Uh-huh.
There was Tommy Douglas is a very famous person from Saskatchewan. He was the inventor of socialized medicine in Canada. He was the premier of Saskatchewan.
Oh, you don't care about him.
He was actually Kiefer Sutherland's grandfather.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are off on a tangent.
Where are we going? Where did this bus stop and how do we get back on?
That is something. All right, so let's go ahead and go to it's 2-1 now, headed to game 4, right? I mean, this game is a massive, massive game. What do you think will happen in this game that's coming up? Do you think the Golden Knights kind of keep the Big Mo going? And if they win this game, is the series over?
I think they'll jump out to a 5-0 lead, and then they'll get back to 5-5, and then we'll play 4 overtimes, and then there'll be a power outage, and the game will be delayed until the following day.
Okay.
And then the Golden Knights will score and go up 3-1 in an empty arena because everybody has to go back to work.
See, that sounds like it could be really far-fetched, but the way that this series is going.
The point is that if anybody says they know, they're lying.
No.
Because nobody had these 3 games being this way anywhere. Everybody said this is not going to be an exciting series. That was a wrong one.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the best finals we've seen in the last 10 or 12 years. Everybody said low-scoring defensive battles.
This is true.
The Golden Knights are putting up 4.33 goals a game against the best defensive club in the NHL. So throw out everything.
Yeah.
Turn on your TV, make your popcorn. If you're lucky enough to be in the Fortress, enjoy whatever the hell's going to happen because I got nothing.
I like this guy. He's a politician. No politics on this show. We're not doing politics here. So, I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Mr. Eddie Rivkin, host of Nights in Vegas podcast?
I think that Rod Brindamore has a very, very difficult decision on who he's going to start in goal.
Okay.
Because his prized possession has been not very good.
I don't think he plays.
And the 28-year-old rookie who was their best goaltender throughout the year stood on his head and made a whole bunch of saves in 2 periods in 5 minutes and got beat on a fluke.
Yeah.
I think both teams are going to adjust. I think the fact that Carolina's first line still is on a milk carton and missing.
I like that.
I I think the Golden Knights are equipped to win the game. So I'll take the Golden Knights to go up 3-1.
See, I like that. There you go. You're elected. What do you think, Sarina?
I think the first.
I already know.
Well, the first period of Game 3 was similar to kind of the start of the second game as well.
Yeah.
These are two tight checking teams. That's why the first period was essentially boring. There was not a lot. They're tight checking teams, which is what everybody expected from these two teams, and that's why everybody thought it was going to be boring. When you have a team like Vegas and a guy like Mitch who can cut loose and do the things, let's be honest. If Mitch Marner didn't have the game he had in Game 3, this is not the same conversation. So we can't expect Mitch to be like that every single game.
This is true.
So if Rod Brind'Amour keeps it tight, I feel like Rod Brind'Amour's hands are tied right now. He is doing what he can do. He knows there's not much left.
Guys aren't performing.
He's got nothing in the magic bag or whatever. You can only do so much. So I think that Carolina's going to come out the same way that they did. They have to check Vegas tight. That's the only way that they can stop them. What happened was Mitch cut loose and broke that. It's like a water balloon. He just broke it.
He did
everywhere.
But let's also remember that 2 goals were null and void. I mean, they're both the right call. I mean, clearly there was offsides there, and clearly, I think the goaltender interference shouldn't have been called in the first game, but whatever. But there shouldn't have been a call last night either, right? So
even Torch said so.
Yeah,
he said they were both the right calls.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and they
I
were,
agree with that.
but that was a momentum thing too.
Yeah, but they still technically scored twice. You know what I mean? Without Mitch Marner going crazy. So
the other thing is those 2 disallowed goals brought the crowd into the game, because the first period we sit next to each other in the press box and we're like, this feels like a Tuesday night against Ottawa. There was no buzz going on in the arena. I don't know if the fan base was anxious after they blew the lead in Game 2 or whatever it was.
Definitely in the third.
But until those 2 disallowed goals, the Fortress was awfully quiet.
Yeah.
And then all this, when you get when your punching bag is wearing a stripe, wearing stripes, it's kind of easy to get the crowd going. And they just took that momentum and they steamrolled them in the second.
You know what, though? I completely agree. I mean, the first period was definitely kind of like, man, it's very quiet in here. However, this gave me goosebumps. Did it give you goosebumps? The reaction that they had to Brayden McNabb when they announced him at the very beginning of the game. That was...
Yeah. Honestly, I was expecting it to be a little louder.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I thought the roof should have been coming off this place, but...
I thought it was bananas when they showed. I was like, oh, my...
I think the thing is, when the first period play, the tight checking and the not a lot of flashy stuff, the crowd here doesn't really know what to do with that. They don't know what's happening. They don't know why is this the way it is. Everybody's nervous.
Well, I
don't want to get excited.
Nervous.
Yeah, I don't want to get excited because
happening.
I don't know when are we going to score. When are they going to score? Everybody's kind of on edge about what's going on. And as soon as Vegas scored that first goal that was offside, and that kind of broke the ice, like Eddie said. Everybody kind of got off their hands because, okay, now something's happening.
I think that the crowd, personally, I think the crowd was more so like, please don't have a bad continuance of the previous game with the Golden Knights. That's kind of like, oh, please do well. We want our team to do well. You know what I mean? Like, oh, please do well. Okay, we're going to do well, so let's go ahead and be happy. We're going to. That's kind of what I thought was happening.
That was a WWE moment when they announced Brayden McNabb.
That was bananas to me.
Right? That was a pop, right?
Yeah.
Like when Stone Cold came through the tunnel, that was a pop. And
this is where I act like I watch wrestling.
But Mark Chinook.
He does. WWE, yeah.
Does So if it was staged or choreographed, it got the desired result.
Yes, I agree. Quickly, this has nothing to do with what I was going to ask you guys, but since you're a self-proclaimed Canadian hockey snob, I would assume that you do not like the pregame antics, like with the whole, the Knights of the Realm and all that kind of. Do you care for that? Or do you?
Oh, honestly, actually, that's a really interesting point. I actually do like it.
Okay.
However, I will say this. This is the Stanley Cup Final, and you're not amping up the crowd watching people skate around with a thing. It's just, you got to amp up the crowd more. But Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world, and I think that from that standpoint, this team does a fantastic job. Because here's the reality. This is not a hockey city. There's a lot of people that come from somewhere else.
Traditional hockey city.
Yeah, well, yeah. But there's a lot of, not transient people, tourists and stuff. They want a show.
They do.
And you know what? Vegas gives it to them. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think they do a really, really good job with all of that kind of stuff.
Mix it all in there and kind of come
Yeah,
together.
I think it's great. I think it's the 100% the place that they can do it. Maybe other places probably couldn't get away with it, but I
It
think
would
it's
never
great.
go over in Montreal.
No,
No,
but
none of
they
the
already
Canadian
have,
cities.
Yeah,
really.
they already have like all the energy in the world, though, right?
Yeah,
So I mean,
it's so different. You
Yeah.
know, it is really different in Canada, and you just know what's going on when you are outside. When it's game day in any city, it's just electric everywhere.
it's different.
But here, it's a show, and that's what
yeah.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think honestly, I'm getting a whole bunch of my opinions out here, which it's about you guys, not me. But I think the whole NHL has kind of taken notice what the Golden Knights have done. You know what I mean? Like I think teams, not particularly Canadian teams, but teams around the league are kind of taking from what the Golden Knights are doing and kind of implementing it in. I'd go this far to let you guys know, like when they have the All-Star games and all this kind of stuff, they use a lot of the Golden Knights people for these events. I don't know if you know, like Mark Chinook and all those guys, and like the entertainment staff from the Golden Knights usually go out and do entertainment for the NHL.
Copycat league.
From someone who's lived in multiple markets and been in multiple markets, one of the comments actually after Vegas beat Florida in the Stanley Cup Final, the very next year, some of the people in the press box were commenting about how quiet the rink is there and how it's not, and they're like, you know, if we didn't learn from Vegas, we're never going to learn how to make this a party. But it's different. There's a lot more money involved that is required, but every market has its own vibe.
This is true.
So you wouldn't see it in Detroit. You wouldn't see it in Chicago. You wouldn't see it in whatever. But that's okay. You also wouldn't see it in Florida. You know, in Tampa, they do a really interesting thing in Tampa. They get the crowd pumped up outside. And so they start pounding Thunderstruck, and they get everybody wound up, and then they let everyone in, and everybody's losing their minds when they come inside the rink.
Okay.
Here, they do the countdown. They get the horn going. Everybody's excited, you know, whatever. It's not the same in some of the other places, but it's a vibe. It's a different culture.
I like it. I like it. All right. Last but not least, to kind of get us out of here, I thought about this, and I wonder what you guys think about this. First, we'll start with you, Eddie. Whom do you think is maybe the most underachieving or overachieving player on the ice for either of these two teams right now? Like, if you're looking like, man, this guy is really not doing what he should be doing, or this guy is really going above and beyond what he should be doing.
Well,
minus Mitch Marner.
Well, Brett Howden's the easy pick.
Okay.
12 goals in 58 regular season games, 13 in however many playoff games. Tied the Golden Knights record with Jonathan Marchessault, who happened to win the Conn Smythe, same amount of goals. Not saying anything, but maybe saying something.
Nice try.
Yeah, nice lead-in. And Noah Hannafin is struggling a little bit. And he got hurt last night. He spent a little time down the tunnel. He took a pretty awkward bump. But when he came back, they moved him down to the third pair, and they moved Jeremy Lauzon. Right? Yeah. Did I pronounce that right? Lauzon.
Oh,
yeah.
You speak French?
That French she does.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
But they made that switch, and he's struggling a little bit. We don't know anything about injuries unless you get hit in the face with a slap shot.
Yeah.
And even then, we still didn't know.
You know, so he could very easily be nursing something. I'm not making excuses for him, but he's struggling a little bit.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. How about you?
I would say, and this is an interesting, I feel like Taylor Hall, of all players, has been underachieving in this series. Taylor Hall, I've seen his career go like this.
Yeah.
He's battled injury his whole career. He was drafted by the Oilers, so I watched him grow up, and it was injury after injury after injury. And then all of a sudden this year, he really kind of, in the playoffs, started coming into his own, and he's playing on the second line with Logan Stankoven, who's one of my all-time favorites.
You don't like him in Vegas.
I like Stankoven.
Stank.
He's
Stank
but,
oven.
So, you know, those two have played really well together. Taylor Hall, that's another example. Taylor Hall of somebody who, Taylor Hall is,
a good number.
he's got to
two.
be third,
33, 34.
at least, yeah.
He's on his 7th team.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's a guy that he's really playing with the right players, but I feel like in this series, he hasn't really done as much as maybe we thought. I feel like for the Golden Knights, Brett Howden has obviously been really good. I feel like Dorofeev is either on fire or he's nowhere to be found. But again, you're talking about the best defensive team in the NHL in Carolina. So there's a lot to be said about that. Even though they give up goals and they make mistakes, all of the goals that Vegas got in the second period last night, well, I guess pretty much all their goals at all, were mistakes by the Carolina defensemen, actual mistakes. You have guys that are just not paying attention. They're not clearing the puck properly. They're not doing all these things that lead to turnovers, a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
And Mitch is smart enough to take advantage of it. And so I feel like, kind of circling back, they're still being defensive. Just because the defensemen are making mistakes doesn't mean they're not being defensive. And I think that's what's kind of stopping Dorofeev. I thought Dorofeev would have had a better game, too.
Yeah. You're right, though. He's either super on fire and fuego, or he's kind of, waiting to bide his time.
No, he's invisible.
Yeah, I mean, he started off the playoffs,
Right.
Like, and then all of a sudden he just scored like 1 million goals. But I would agree with Pavel as far as that goes.
Great hockey player. Incredible hockey player, but he's not the biggest guy on the ice. Carolina's got some big defensemen.
And that can change in one shot.
No, absolutely, because he scores them in bunches in a big way. All right, so Golden Knights, Tuesday, game number 4. You got VGK? You think that they are going to win? Not that you got them, but...
I think Vegas is going to win the whole thing.
Okay.
I really do. Eddie knows I hate making predictions. I probably did last time on the show. I'm not doing this.
My jaw hit the floor when she said that on the podcast. I was like,
I know. You got to hold her to the fire. She's on TV. You got to do it.
Yeah.
The lights are bright.
I do not succumb to peer pressure. But I really think that Vegas, just watching the way that they were coming together as a team with Torts, it takes time to build. And I think Torts took those 8 games at the end of the regular season, was able to apply his style against Utah. You could see each series Vegas getting stronger.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden against Colorado, it clicked. Now they're playing a different style of team, and they're still playing well. So.
All right, and you've already said.
Can I give it to you?
You can make a prediction.
Golden Knights win Game 4.
Uh-oh.
Lose Game 5 in Carolina. Hoist the cup in the Fortress in Game 6, so we all get to walk on the ice and talk to the players. How about that? That's a specific prediction.
Okay, that is a specific prediction. I remember walking on the ice for Game 6. Oh yeah, that was something else. All right, there we go. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in. Sarina,
Thank you.
Eddie.
Pleasure, always.
Yeah, no, this is good. The Stanley Cup Final has been fantastic. I'm assuming you had an opportunity to cover one or go to Stanley Cup Finals before?
This is actually my 4th in a row.
Oh.
I was at essentially the last 3-ish in Florida.
Okay. How about you? Besides, because I remember.
I've been to a bunch. Second one I've covered.
Okay, gotcha. All right, because we had a good time down in Florida.
Yes, we did.
I do remember. Hey, Sarina Taylor, Eddie Rivkin, Nights in Vegas. Hockey Nights in Vegas. I appreciate you, big dog.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Next one we'll be celebrating.